Let me tell you something, man. Everybody slept on the underdog. Everybody wrote the underdog. Julian J. Rock Williams shocked the world. And pretty much you can say, even though it was a very competitive fight, exciting fight, I'd say that J Rock dominated this fight, man. I mean, every time, every time Hurd would come back and try to start something, J Rock had an answer. Jarrett Hurd, man, he's a guy that is very resilient. He's a resilient fighter. You know what I'm saying? Very, durable fighter. We saw that he got knocked down for the first time in his career, but that caught up to him because his style is a come forward, volume punching kind of style, but he lacks tremendous defense. Like defense is something that, is something that he's been lacking. You know what I mean? Like no head movement, no lateral movement. Everything he tries to do in terms of defense is basically blocking with his face. So that caught up with him. And he met a guy that had a brilliant game plan. Like brought the fight to him. Toe to toe, inside fighting, took the steam off his punches because of the fact that, Jarrett Hurd is a come forward fighter. And so how he builds momentum is chasing guys around, while they're on the back foot. So J Rock did the opposite. He said, "You know what? I'm not going to go on the back foot. I'm going to bring the fight to your chest and just go inside fighting." But the difference is that J Rock, he established great defense. He established head movement. He established, his punch placement was brilliant. Uppercuts, body shots. The left hook was hitting him all night. That's how he dropped Jarrett Hurd in the second round to the temple with a hook, if I believe, if I'm not mistaken. That was a hook that J Rock did to Jarrett Hurd, and he dropped him. But the defense, like I said, the head movement, the lateral movement, he was slipping punches. He was parrying punches that Jarrett Hurd had. He was doing all kinds of stuff, man. And you saw at the end of the fight, you saw the face of J Rock pretty much clean. He had some small swelling on his right eye. But other than that, man, he looked great. His feet, that means, he had great defense. And for a guy like Jarrett Hurd to be a volume puncher and to throw that many punches, and you pretty much only have a mild right eye swelling, that means your defense was top notch. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, J Rock winning this fight as the underdog with a unanimous decision. And like I said, the fight was a very exciting fight, competitive, meaning that Jarrett Hurd wasn't gonna lay down. He got knocked down, went back up, and still kept coming forward, still trading shots inside the pocket, inside. You know what I mean? Tried to rally up and later in the rounds, but it was too late. You know what I'm saying? And even Williams took a couple of his best shots. J Rock took a couple of Jarrett Hurd's best shots and was still there. But even with the scorecards, the scorecards, I agree, 117, 110, or even 116, 11. That kind of score, I agree with, because like I said, it was a competitive fight, but Williams pretty much dominated the fight, man. Would I love to see a rematch? Of course. This if they're gonna run it back next, or J Rock has an option to face the winner of Tony Harrison versus Jermell Charlo. You know what I'm saying? So he has those options. He has the option to rematch Jarrett Hurd or face the Williams of Charlo and Tony Harrison. You know what I mean? So it's just, hey man, I give my hands off to PBC for putting on a great performance, a great fight. This was fight of the year for me. so far, fight of the year candidate, and it came in the junior middleweight division. Jarrett Hurd is Jarrett Hurd is must see TV. You know, they mentioned in the commentary that this needs to be it should have been a pay per view fight. You're damn right. This should have been a pay per view fight, but it's unfortunate that Jarrett Hurd was not pushed or marketed properly, so that more people know about him, so that more people can tune into his fights. You know what I'm saying? This fight, if you watch this fight in its entirety, you were spoiled to see a great fight. You know what I mean? Because this is the type of fight that should be on pay per view. You know, just watching the highlights on the Instagram channel. This is the kind of action you saw, man. This was great. This was awesome. You know what I'm saying? This was a great fight, man. Great fight. So, man, yeah, I really enjoyed the fight. Fight of the year candidate for me. And I gotta tip my hats off to Al Heyman and the PPC, even though in my eyes, I don't agree with a lot of the politics of Al Heyman and how they're keeping all their fighters or the fights that they want to monopolize inside the PPC circle, and they're not trying to extend an olive branch to other platforms. You know what I mean? But that's another topic of conversation. But again, great fight. Congrats to J-Rock Williams. The sky's the limit, man. He can do what he wants to do. He can give Jarrett Hurd a rematch if he wants to. He could fight the winner of Tony Harrison and Charlo, to become undisputed. So he has lots of options. And for a guy to be the underdog like that, and to be written off, basically, everybody basically didn't give this guy a chance. Which kind of reminds me of the upcoming fight between Wilder and Brazil. You know what I mean? So Brazil is a massive underdog, but you never know what's going to happen with these PBC fighters, man. So we shall see. Don't write the underdog off, especially guys who are quiet, because I noticed J-Rock was quiet during his training camp in terms of, not talking, not doing interviews and stuff like that. Same thing with Brazil. So hopefully he has a great game plan coming into the fight against Wilder. We'll see what happens. May 18th. You know what I mean? Can't wait for that. But yeah, those are my thoughts about the fight, man. Leave your comments down below if you saw the fight between J-Rock Williams and Jarrett Hurd. Julian J-Rock Williams is now the unified champion of 154. So yeah, man, those are my quick thoughts about that. Leave your comments down below, family. Until next time, Chauncey signing out. Peace.